So your gut's like a garden, and the secret to a thriving garden is diversity. But what happens when your garden's overrun with weeds? Or maybe it's even missing flowers altogether? What if the very foods that you think are healthy and secretly causing inflammation are holding you back from feeling your best? So on today's episode, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the soil of your gut microbiome. And I want to explore why microbial diversity is the ultimate key to gut resilience, how your diet can either nurture or neglect it, and more importantly, I want to share some practical, actionable steps that you can take to cultivate a healthier, more vibrant gut ecosystem. And it's my hope that by the end of this episode, you'll have a very clear roadmap to understanding your body on a deeper level. So stay tuned. Hey friend, welcome to Gut Fix. Are you ready to finally get rid of those debilitating digestive symptoms? Do you catch yourself staying up late Googling things like, what can I eat? Or how do I stop a flare? Or maybe you're just lying awake wondering, how did this ever happen to me? I'm Wendy, and I've been exactly where you are, desperately searching for answers, but determined to find natural solutions. And like you, I was overwhelmed by all the conflicting information out there and unsure of what might really work for me. And so now in this podcast, I'm here to share with you what I've learned, how to listen to your body's signals, and uncover the common mistakes that might be standing in the way of your healing. So grab your favorite drink, pop in your earbuds, and let's dive into your health transformation together. Okay, so I'm talking directly to you, especially if you're a woman over 40 who's been struggling with persistent fatigue, frustrating bloating, and a digestive system that maybe just feels completely unpredictable. And you've likely been to at least one doctor, maybe several. Maybe you've even had some lab tests run, only to be told that, quote unquote, everything looks fine, or you're within range. And yet you know something ain't right. And that feeling of being dismissed without answers it's incredibly frustrating, and it leaves you searching for not only a sense of control, but for renewed energy and for the freedom to live your life without constantly worrying about your gut or what you put in your mouth. And I got to tell you, I've been there myself, and that's why I'm so very passionate about this. Because as a practitioner who uses a test, don't guess philosophy, I've dedicated my work to helping people just like you move beyond the confusion. And the plan is never about a completely restrictive diet for the rest of your natural life or a magic pill that's going to just, instantly make you better. But it's more about a systematically improving your gut diversity through very targeted nutrition, sustainable lifestyle shifts, and when necessary, using some of those precise lab tests to identify your unique triggers. And so, imagine a life where you wake up with constant, consistent energy, your skin is clear and glowing, and your mind is sharp as a tack. You no longer have to second guess everything that you eat. That is not only, that vision of success is not only possible for you, but let me tell you, it's achievable because I'm living proof of it. So let's go ahead and dive into the science, but I'm going to make it simple. So think about this as your gut diversity 101. So why does a diverse microbiome matter so much? Well, I want you to think about it like a very busy, bustling city. You have your sanitation workers, you have your construction crews, you have communication experts, you've got first responders. And in your gut, different microbes have different jobs. Some are going to be there to break down the fiber. Others are going to produce essential vitamins. And many of the rest of them are crucial for regulating your immune system. And when that diversity is low, it's like having a city that only has just one or two types of workers in it. Not only does the system become frail, but it becomes unable to handle too many stressors. And that can lead to a very weak immune response. That can lead to chronic inflammation and a gut that's just really very easily thrown off balance. So, what's causing the decline in our collective gut diversity? Well, there's several things that are at play here. And this all is included in our modern lifestyle. So number one is the overuse of antibiotics. And believe me, I am the first one to tell you that antibiotics can be necessary and you do need them in certain cases. But what they can do is they can wipe out an entire population of beneficial bacteria. And then you've got our modern ultra-processed low-fiber diets that starve the good microbes. And then we certainly can't leave out the powerful mind-gut connection and chronic stress and poor sleep that create an internal environment that's less than desirable for microbes to thrive, right? But I want you to know there's good news here. You have the power to change it. You can actively increase your gut diversity anytime you want. The foundation for doing this is a whole food, fiber-rich, plant-forward way of eating. And by plant-forward, I mean you want to have a lot of plants-based in there, and you definitely want animal proteins as well. So it's about eating the rainbow when it comes to those plant-based foods, right? So and the reason for this is because the different colors in those fruits and vegetables correspond to very different phytonutrients. Those are going to feed different types of bacteria. And then you incorporate things like fermented foods like, say, yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut. Those introduce, beneficial microbes directly into your system. And then finally, we can't leave out managing stress and prioritizing rest. This is a non-negotiable when you're talking about gut health, but overall health too. So let's talk about some of the popular diets and how they stack up when it comes to gut diversity. So let's start with the standard American diet. And it's often referred to as the SAD diet. And it is quite sad. It's very high in sugar. It's high in unhealthy fats and processed and ultra-processed ingredients. Believe me, it's the recipe for poor microbial diversity. It's feeding the weeds in your gut garden. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, let's take, for example, the Mediterranean diet. That consistently comes up on top for a lot of different, health reasons. It's rich in fiber that comes from the fruits and the vegetables and the legumes. It's packed with anti-inflammatory polyphenols from your olive oil and nuts, and it's full of omega-3s from your fish. Now, this is a diet that truly nourishes a diverse microbiome. And then, what about elimination diets? Like, let's say, for example, going gluten-free, totally gluten-free. Now, for those who have celiac disease or a true sensitivity, this is absolutely necessary, 100% across the board. However, if you're not careful, and you don't have these celiac or a true sensitivity to it, removing an entire food group can inadvertently reduce the variety of fibers that your gut needs and gets. And the same goes for, a low FODMAP diet. And I'll tell you, that can be a fantastic short-term tool for managing the symptoms of IBS, but it's not meant to be a forever diet. Just like the carnivore diet, it's not meant to be forever. And the long-term goal should always be to strategically reintroduce foods and maintain that gut diversity. And the key takeaway here is that it's never about achieving perfection, but it's more about embracing variety and finding a sustainable balance that's going to work for you. So I want to share a story about a client of mine. Let's call her Sarah. So when Sarah first came to see me, she was dealing with, daily painful bloating, fatigue off the charts that made it just almost impossible to get through her work day, let alone what she had to do when she got home at night, right? And so we decided to take a deeper look with a food sensitivity test. And I got to tell you, the results were eye-opening for Sarah, for sure, and for me too, because we discovered that she was having an inflammatory reaction to several different foods that she considered to be healthy, including almonds and spinach. And these are two things that she ate every single day. But when we strategically removed these trigger foods and focused more on a diverse range of other nutrient-dense, fiber-rich plants, her transformation was nothing short of remarkable. And within a few months, not only had her digestion calm down and become much more predictable, but her energy levels went through the roof and she finally felt like herself again. And I want to tell you, when we remove foods like this for a food sensitivity, it's not forever. It is until we get the gut healed and the gut lining healed and close up that leaky gut and truly have a transformation, and then you can slowly reintroduce these foods that you love. And I want to imagine yourself as the next success story, finally getting the answers that you deserve. And so as we wrap up, I want to recap the big ideas that gut diversity equals resilience. Your diet has a direct and profound impact in variety, and variety in that is the cornerstone of your healing. And you don't have to keep guessing about what your body needs. So if you're ready to stop the guesswork and you want a very crystal clear picture of what's really going on inside your gut, I invite you to check out the Fit 176 food sensitivity test. It's the exact tool that I used with Sarah to identify her hidden inflammatory triggers and create a very personalized roadmap to healing. And it's a simple at-home test. It measures your body's reaction to 176 different foods, colorings, and additives. And it isn't about diagnosing an allergy, because it isn't truly an allergy. We're not looking at allergies here. We're looking at sensitivities, totally different. Sensitivities can show up as much as 72 hours after you eat that food, whereas an allergy is more chronic, or it's more acute, right? And it can cause, in some cases, life-threatening. That's not what we're talking about here. And getting this test could be the first step. And it's designed to give you very precise, actionable data. You can find the link to order your Fit 176 in the show notes below. And I want you to remember that your gut is a living, breathing ecosystem. So I want you to nurture it with variety, listen to what it's telling you, and listen to the signals that it's giving you. And I promise it will reward you with energy, clarity, and true vitality. So I hope this was helpful. If you found the information to be helpful, please pass it along to somebody that you know that could use this information. And until next week, stay happy and stay healthy. Hey friend, I hope today's episode brought you some real value. If it did, would you take just 30 seconds to share it with a friend who might be struggling to get her gut in check? And if you're feeling extra generous, leave me a review on Apple. It absolutely lights me up knowing that this podcast is making a difference for you. All right, it's time for me to grab my protein shake and get my gut happy. I'll see you back here next Tuesday for another episode of Gut Fix. And until then, stay happy and stay healthy.